Doro boss, Doro big, you know say Doro heavy, Doro skiffle, you know say Doro bloody, Doro get the biggest level where you know of us, Doro push past anybody where Doro meet, Doro got pass anybody for the gathering, Doro just money pass everybody, yeah. Doro Bucci, Doro Bucci, Doro Bucci, mama, Doro Bucci, boy, yeah, Doro fresh, Doro big, Doro flashy, Doro classy, Doro fine pass anybody way, Doro see, Doro get pass anybody way, Doro meet you.
Doro na diva, Doro na tiwa, Doro na leader, follow the leader, Doro is bigger, Doro is higher, follow the ladder, so follow the ladder, Doro can't leave her, she know the tire, Doro hot, Doro minado, Doro fine, Doro Gucci, yeah, Doro me, Doro you, Doro maybe, with the baddest crew.
Doro Suru, Doro Lere, Doro Grab, Doro Carry, Doro fast past anybody way, don't they fast before? Doro sweet past anybody way, Doro jam man, Doro hammer, Doro bako, Doro knock past carpenter way, don't they knock before? Doro Nado, Doro Messi, Doro dribble anybody way, try to mark
Doro, African prince, Doro. See Doro, they make you all the girls they feel. Doro, Doro catchy anybody way, Doro fish, Doro choppy anybody way, Doro beef, Doro mega, Doro super, Doro star, Doro mega superstar. Doro catchy anybody way, Doro fish, Doro choppy anybody way, Doro beef, Doro bad, Doro 007, Doro Nayaro, Doro they get the money, Doro like for do anything way, Doro like for do. May nobody try Doro booty, Doro bad, Doro 007, Doro Nayaro, Doro they get the money, Doro like for do anything way, Doro like for do. May nobody try Doro
is a careful giver. Doro is a kind of boss. Doro is a money spender. Doro today floss. Today floss. Anywhere where Doro day, you know say wahala day. Colors day, Doro galante. Anywhere where Doro day, wahala day. Colors day, Doro galante. Omo ba, Doro money, Doro bola, Doro popping, Doro naughty, Doro fly past anybody where they be play, Doro ball past anybody where they be pitch. Doro Bucci, Doro Bucci, Doro fly past anybody where Doro see, Doro get past anybody where Doro street, one Doro Jack Norris.
Hopa! Abrogodo, celeb.
Who? Gang. You're chilling with the monster. Gang. You're chilling with the monster. Gang. Right now you are chilling with the monster. Gang. You know me. Gang. Gang. You're chilling with the monster. Gang. Chilling with the monster. Gang. Right now you are chilling with the monster. Gang. Show mommy. Gang. Don't you with the monster. Gang. You with the monster. Gang. Don't you with the monster. Wow. Show mommy. Gang. Gang. You the duke with the monster. Gang. Don't you with the monster. Gang. You are going to with the monster. Gang. This gang is the monster. Shoot arrow with the bow tie. Two don't blow. Drop your own if I no try. Gang. Pay you and you no lie. But I go can't know if you no cry. No fine girl where you no sign. No highness where you no try. Set I want gang. Pepper
Never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
This is Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News.
Hello and good evening. Here's the world news on your premium talk radio, Today 95.1 FM. I am Annie Abdul Salam. In the headlines, confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria rise to 151. Federal government commences steps to release some truckload of fertilizers trapped in Port Harcourt. Authorities of Port Harcourt correctional facilities speak on difficulties in ensuring social distancing due to congestion. And on the foreign scene, tributes pour in for South African scientists who died of coronavirus. And now, the details. The federal government has commenced the distribution of 20,000 naira conditional cash transfer to vulnerable households at the Kwali Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. This is part of the federal government's efforts to help reduce the effect of President Muhammadu Buhari's lockdown order following the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, said while kickstarting the disbursement that due to the scourge of the COVID-19, the federal government is giving out 20,000 naira per person for the next 4 months, starting from March 2020. She explained that the president, during his broadcast last week, directed that the conditional cash transfer should be given in advance of 2 months. The number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria has risen to 151. This follows the report of 12 new cases in the country. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, disclosed the new figures in a tweet in its latest update on the disease. The agency, while giving the breakdown of the cases, reported 9 in Osun State, 2 in Edo State, and 1 in Ekiti State. The Minister for Health, Dr. Osage Hanare, has said over 2,000 persons have been tested so far for the COVID-19 disease in the country. The minister made the disclosure during a media briefing by the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 in Abuja, where he noted that the government is making efforts to further expand and improve the diagnostic capacity across the board. He said this week, 2 more laboratories were added to the NCDC network of molecular laboratories for COVID-19 at the University College Hospital, Ibadan, and Federal Teaching Hospital, Abakaliki, Ebonyi State. Hanare said a breakdown of the cases of the virus in Nigeria shows that about 70% of them are male, while about 30% of them are female. In the meantime, the federal government has debunked allegations that some 26 Americans who flew into Nigeria recently were not screened before they were allowed in. Minister of Information Lai Mohammed, who also doubles as a member of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, made the clarification during a briefing in Abuja. The federal government said some jingles have been generated to create awareness about the virus in the country.
Some false remedies and cures. We have also debunked a newspaper report that some 26 Americans who flew into Nigeria recently were not screened before being allowed in. Also, when a mob burned down a police station in Kusada local government area in Katsina State because the police prevented the people from congregating for the Friday prayers, as well as the massive demonstration by an Islamic group in Jos due to the ban on large gatherings, we contacted the Katsina and Plateau State government and provided them with some jingles which are currently being aired, repeated on the state's radio stations to further create awareness on social distancing and the need to avoid large gatherings.
The minister also assured that more volunteers are being deployed to the COVID-19 call centers to provide basic information.
More volunteers are also being deployed to the call centers and are being trained to take calls and provide basic information and direction to callers. The frequently asked questions developed by the NCDC has been updated in order to assist the call center operators to provide basic information. The NCDC is also finalizing the template for massive grassroots and community mobilization that will take cognizance of social distance. We will leverage on the existing network of the National Orientation Agency, UNICEF, Health Education, Environmental Health Officers, Red Cross, and another center to commence massive community engagement using many outdoor methods. And this will be a continuous exercise.
The federal government says it is making efforts to release some truckload of fertilizers trapped in Port Harcourt due to the lockdown. Secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, made the disclosure while answering questions from newsmen during a media briefing in Abuja. The SGF, who is the chairman of the President's Task Force on COVID-19, said the government is in talks with relevant agencies to ensure that the trucks are released.
In the President's broadcast, it was only Lagos Port. Now we've included the ports in Port Harcourt and all other operations of movement of essential products. And in the protocol that was released by the national coordinator, farms, distribution of foods and perishables, manufacturing of foods, drugs, pharmaceutical, and essential products related to the response are all exempted. So that is adequately covered. All we need to do is to work with the subnational government in Port Harcourt to ensure that all trucks and tankers have a free flow. Because it's not only trucks from the ports or from the factories. There's the issue of even tankers that are conveying petroleum products that are strapped in a very long gridlock of traffic in the Port Harcourt area. But I believe that is being resolved as of now.
The controller of Nigerian Correctional Service in Port Harcourt, Olumide Tinoye, has been speaking on the difficulties in observing social distancing inside the facility in Port Harcourt. Controller Tinoye said due to congestion in the facility, it has been difficult observing social distancing among the inmates in the Port Harcourt Correctional Facility. In a telephone interview with our correspondent, Uchendu Ejowo, the controller, however, confirmed that there has not been any record of new inmates, and neither has anyone left the facility in recent times due to the suspension of court activities. He also disclosed that they have been able to set up an isolation center within the facility to separate inmates with signs of COVID-19, even if they have not recorded any case so far.
Well, there's very little we can do. Like I said, it's been congested before. But now the fact that the court is not in session, and we're not getting admission, a lot of our inmates are getting released, and no one is coming in. But at the social distancing, there's very little we can do in terms of social distancing because we don't have any extended cells that we can put them. The only thing we have put in place is to have an isolation center in the prison so that if there is anybody that is sick, we take to the clinic. If it is diagnosed to be having any symptoms that we give symptoms, we isolate them and put them in a separate place pending when we know that there's no problem. But for now, we don't have any problem as regards the coronavirus anyway.
The Port Harcourt Correctional Service boss also revealed that other necessary measures have been set up within and around the facility to avoid a possible spread of COVID-19.
We already put measures in place. We have a thermometer where you definitely your temperature is taken. Your hand is washed. You have to wash your hand even for staff and even any visitors whatsoever. And we have solved all religious activities so that's not a question of visitors coming in and go and do any religious activities. So we are definitely observing the same precautionary measures which is being observed in some other institutions.
The Rivers State government has been criticized over some of the measures put in place to check the spread of coronavirus in the state. Immediate past Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress in the state, Chris Feinborn, while reacting to complaints by residents of Port Harcourt over the lockdown, said state government has remained reluctant in making available alternative food markets to ease the effect of the lockdown as seen in other states. Feinborn criticized the 24 hours curfew imposed in some parts of the state, which he said has increased the level of sufferings and alleged inhuman treatment treatment by security agencies in the name of enforcing orders.
It was quite depressing listening to the outcry of the people and residents of Rivers State this morning on radio, especially those living in some parts of Port Harcourt and its environs. Yes, Rivers State is on lockdown, but so is also Lagos and other states. The difference is that while Lagos State, for example, put in place alternative food markets for the various neighborhoods, there is no such arrangement in Rivers State. Again, no part of Lagos State is under 24 hours curfew, while parts of Port Harcourt are now under inhuman occupation and maltreatment of men, women, and children by security forces under the guise of enforcing 24-hour curfew. Even small shops are forced to lock up. Meanwhile, there is no information that a single ventilator is available in the state.
Finebone also stressed the need for River State government to ensure that the lockdown has a human face which could help the people to live rather than cause them to die.
And one is tempted to ask, did coronavirus originate from Port Harcourt that so much vengeance is visited on the inhabitants in this cruel manner? I'm not sure Wuhan and her residents saw what Port Harcourt residents are seeing right now. Nobody is saying that the governor should reinvent the wheel. Any efforts to immobilize coronavirus must be supported by all. We all support the lockdown. However, if the government cannot be innovative in going about it, then at least let them copy what is happening elsewhere, wisely and correctly. The lockdowns we see in other states have a human face, to save the people and not for the people to die.
The civil society organizations in River State has called on the River State government to tender an apology to members of the public for what it describes as misleading information on the curfew declared in parts of the state. The chairman of the organization, NFR, George Will, made the call in an interview with our correspondent, Sandra Kenneth. George Will also asked the River State Governor, Nyesom Wike, to prevail on River State Police Command to immediately release those arrested during the confusion that trailed the announcement of the curfew.
The Rivers State Civil Society organizations call on the Rivers State government to apologize to Rivers people for misinforming them on the dusk to dawn curfew imposed in some part of the state as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. We equally ask the Rivers State government to ask the Commissioner of Police to release all arrested citizens as a result of this misinformation unconditionally. On the suspension of Dobe Akpolo government chairman and his deputy, Reeves says so wish to direct the mind of the Rivers State government to the Supreme Court judgment on the 11th of December 2019, where the Supreme Court stated clearly that no state governor has the power to suspend any local government chairman or councillor without the input of the State House of Assembly. In fact, the court emphasized that the local government is a tier of government on its own, and no tier of government have the right to suspend or expel the other. We join all well-meaning Rivers people to ask the government to reverse its decision and toe the path of law.
The rights activists also expressed support for the imposition of a 24-hour curfew in some parts of the state, but reeled out the palliatives which the government should put in place before the move.
Our citizen coalition supports the Rivers State government on its decision to place a 24-hour curfew in some part of the state, particularly as it conforms with the Quarantine Act of 2004. However, we must state that the government have placed the cart before the ox on the following grounds. 1. That the Rivers State government is yet to mention its palliative measures to cushion the effect of this curfew, as 70% of these citizens are daily income earners. 2. The Rivers State government is yet to provide alternate food markets, as all markets have been shut down at short notice. 3. The government have not provided buses at strategic points for essential workers without means of transportation. Of course, we are aware not every essential worker have access to cars or other means of transportation. So we call that the Rivers State government should provide cars at strategic points on all those on all essential workers who will be affected by this decision.
You're listening to the World News here on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, we'll be back with more stories. Just stay with us.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today 95.1 FM.
16 minutes has gone past the hour 6. You're still listening to the World News here on Today 95.1 FM. Traditional rulers in River State have continued to sensitize their people on the need to comply with the directives by the state government to prevent the spread of COVID-19. The Amainabo of Okochiri Kingdom, King Michael Ateketom, who gave the advice that everyone must rise to support the effort of the government in curbing the spread of the virus. Ateketom, who spoke when he led his 10-man compliance committee to sensitize and distribute hand sanitizers across his community, urged Okochiri people to respect the directives by the government by observing all preventive measures put in place. Ateketom, in a statement by his media aide, Ifeanyi Ogbonna, said following the order by the state government on the closure of markets, drinking joints and beer parlors, he has directed all markets and beer parlors to be closed in the kingdom. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria has urged the Department of Petroleum Resources to compel private depot owners to operationalize the new pump price. The National Vice Chairman of IPMAN, Abubakar Maigandi, noted that the private depot owners were yet to comply with the previous reduction of pump price before the announcement of a further reduction of the price to 123.5 per litre. Maigandi said members of the Depot and Petroleum Products Marketing Association were yet to load petrol at the current pump price. Following the prevailing market situation, he raised the alarm that a nationwide petrol scarcity was imminent. And now to the foreign scene, tributes are being paid to world-renowned South African scientist Gita Ramji, who has died from COVID-19 related complications. Head of UN AIDS, Winnie Byanyima, said Professor Ramji's death was a huge loss at a time when the world needed her most. South Africa has the largest number of people living with HIV in the world. The country has begun a 3-week lockdown as part of efforts to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Saudi Arabia has asked Muslims planning to take part in the annual Hajj pilgrim to delay booking trips with tour operators amid uncertainty over the coronavirus pandemic. Some 2 million people were expected to travel to Mecca and Medina this July and August for the Hajj, which all Muslims who are physically able must undertake once in a lifetime. Saudi authorities have reported over 1,500 cases of COVID-19 and 10 related deaths. And in sports, UEFA has made a move towards clearing the decks for the return of club football by announcing that all international matches that had been pushed back to June have now been postponed until further notice. This includes the playoff matches for UEFA Euro 2020 and qualifying matches for UEFA Women's Euro 2021. The body said all other UEFA competition matches, including the centralized international friendly matches, remain postponed until further notice. The decision followed a video conference with Europe's 55 member federations as part of discussions on how to adapt the fixture calendar in the face of the ongoing coronavirus crisis. And now we end the news, but here is a summary of the major stories. Confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria has risen to 151. Federal government has commenced steps to realize some truckload of fertilizers trapped in Port Harcourt. We told you that authorities of the Port Harcourt correctional facilities have been speaking on the difficulties in ensuring social distancing due to congestion. And on the foreign scene, tributes have been pouring in for South African scientist Gita Ramji, who died of coronavirus. And that was the news, as edited by Chinedu Iwuna. For comments and inquiries, please call 0815-341-8657 or 0814-434-3502. Or send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. I am Annie Abdulsalam. Thank you for listening. To have a lovely evening.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Radio has never been this good. Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Tune in to Soccer Nation every weekday. Live right here on Today FM from 6:15 to 6:30 p.m. It's the best 15 minutes of football anywhere on radio. You don't want to miss it.
Good evening, guys. Welcome to Soccer Nation, the best 15 minutes of football anyone radio comes your way on this dial, and of course at this time as well. There's so much to get into and so much to get on with the show. Of course, we've got the biggest news headlines coming through in the world of football. There might be no action, but there's still lots of news. We've also got the Football Insider and the Stat Zone. All of that and much more coming through right here on this dial over the course of the next 15 minutes. This is Soccer Nation, and it is proudly brought to you by Peak Chocolate.
Children, they enjoy all the attention. They get all the free kisses. Kisses that we have to beg for. And if that's not enough, they think Peak Chocolate is for them alone. Well, they are wrong.
That's right. With Peak Chocolate, it doesn't matter if you're a kid or a grown-up. Have a cup today and enjoy the delicious nourishment of chocolatey goodness. Now available in 400-gram family pack.
Peak. Reach for your peak.
Welcome back to the show. Let's get back into it and, of course, get started with the biggest news headlines in the world of football. Some transfer news. Manchester United are reportedly prepared to make a renewed bid to sign Juventus defender Mats de Ligt this summer if the Italian club are ready to listen to offers for the Netherlands international. De Ligt rejected interest from United, Barcelona and PSG last summer before completing a €75 million move from Ajax to Juventus after he captained the Dutch champions during their run to the Champions League semi-finals last season. But after signing a 5-year deal at Juventus, the 20-year-old has been in and out of the team under Maurizio Sarri. The defender has started 17 of the club's 26 games in the Serie A prior to the shutdown of the league due to the coronavirus outbreak in Italy. Man United manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is keen to recruit a centre-back this summer, with the club already drawing up a list of potential targets including Napoli's Kalidou Koulibaly. De Ligt, who currently earns £210,000 at Juventus, is regarded as having a perfect profile for Solskjaer's United in terms of age, versatility and character. There's an acceptance, however, that Juventus are unlikely to sanction the sale of De Ligt after just 1 year in Turin unless his player seeks a move after a frustrating campaign at the club. But should the Italian outfit be prepared to sell the defender, United are ready to make a second attempt to sign the young Dutchman. Still at Manchester United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says his players should ask their wives and girlfriends to help with football drills so they can keep sharp during isolation. The squad has been giving individual training programs with United's training bays remaining closed due to the coronavirus pandemic, and Solskjaer has called on players' partners to play a role while the lockdown continues. Players have got individual programs and they've got their own diets, of course, and this period could be used to work on something special, something specific for them, their roles and their tasks, Solskjaer told the club's official website. Meanwhile, Solskjaer and his coaching staff have been keeping in close contact with the players since the Premier League was suspended 2 weeks ago, as the Old Trafford outfit remains committed to playing the rest of the campaign to a conclusion, but there is no indication just yet about when football might be able to resume. And still, Manchester United are reportedly leading the race to sign Philippe Coutinho from Barcelona in the summer, with reports claiming that the Red Devils are keen on adding another creative presence in midfield despite signing Bruno Fernandes. Coutinho is currently on a season-long loan at Bayern Munich, where he failed to impress so far, with emerging news that the Bavarians are unlikely to make the loan deal permanent, which leaves his future up in the air. The Brazilian has 3 more years left on his contract at Barcelona, although it is hugely unlikely that he will be a part of the team going forward, and it appears that United, along the likes of Chelsea, Tottenham and Leicester City, could be new destinations for Coutinho. Meanwhile, the winter signing of Bruno Fernandes has rejuvenated the Red Devils, and manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is keen to maintain that momentum and add another attacking outlet, with Coutinho seen as the perfect player for the team. One of the reasons why United are considered favourites to sign a 27-year-old is that they are one of the few clubs who can afford his massive transfer fee and, of course, his massive wages. Despite coming in for criticism, Coutinho has managed to score 9 goals and provide 8 assists in 32 games this season for Bayern Munich, and will no doubt provide a creative outlet for whichever club he does eventually move to in the summer. Still talking about Premier League players, Willian has admitted that he would like to continue playing in the Premier League after his Chelsea contract expires this summer. The Blues midfielder is out of contract at the end of June and feels he will leave because talks over a new deal have stalled. Chelsea usually only offer over 30-year-olds 1-year deals, but they were prepared to give Willian a 2-year extension. But talks have broken down, with the coronavirus outbreak placing football on a halt and increasing his chances of living in the summer. Possible destinations include Arsenal and, of course, Tottenham Hotspur. But Willian has already admitted that he would like to stay in England if he ends up leaving Chelsea. My desire is to stay in the Premier League, he said, but I don't rule out playing in other leagues at all. I'm going to play until the end of the season and see what happens. PSG superstar Neymar has dismissed suggestions that he has ignored social distancing rules after returning to Brazil following updates on his Instagram page. The 28-year-old posted pictures on Instagram which showed him sunbathing and playing foot volleyball with a group of friends. However, the PSG forward has insisted that the people in the photo with him had traveled with him from the French capital and that they were now in self-isolation together. The photograph shows Neymar alongside people who are in quarantine with him, people who traveled with him from Paris to Brazil. Neymar invited those people to spend the 14 days in quarantine before joining their respective families, Neymar's spokesperson said in a statement. The man also added that the Brazil international had visited his son, David Luca, though he had avoided seeing other relatives, including his mother, grandmother, and sister. The coronavirus pandemic is running rampant in Brazil, which remains the worst affected South American country at present, with confirmed cases growing to 2,400 in the past few weeks. Meanwhile, former Arsenal and Barcelona midfielder Cesc Fabregas, who currently plays in League One with Monaco, has opened up on the best managers he played under, going on to meet one big name. Fabregas, who has played for top clubs in England and Spain in the past, while also winning the 2008 European Championships and the 2010 World Cup for Spain, Spain has named Arsene Wenger and Jose Mourinho as the two best managers he played under, although he did not mention Pep Guardiola's name. I had the best in the world, so I cannot complain, Fabregas said on his Instagram Live when pressed to give the top two names. He then added Wenger and Mourinho. His selection means that the likes of Guardiola and former Spain national team manager Vicente Del Bosque miss out on his list, which could come as a surprise to many considering the fact that majority of his career success came under the two Spaniards. Bayern Munich CEO Karl-Heinz Rummenigge has insisted that the lockdown due to the coronavirus pandemic will not affect contract talks for the club involving Thomas Müller, Manuel Neuer and David Alaba. A number of player contracts will be up in the summer of 2021, including Jerome Boateng, Javi Martinez, Thiago and Sven Ulreich. Although other clubs may use the current circumstances to offer low wages that would otherwise be on the table, Bayern Munich will not be putting themselves in that category, he said. For Manuel Neuer, the same applies as for all players whose contracts expire in the summer of 2021. We had already submitted offers before the coronavirus crisis. We don't want to take advantage of the crisis now in order to push these well-deserving players down in price. I think that all these players know that they have a very solid and reliable employer in FC Bayern. Of course, Manuel Neuer, for his part, has been linked with a move to Chelsea as Frank Lampard looks to replace out of favor Kepa Arrizabalaga, although Bayern Munich have insisted that they do not intend to see the player leave the club. Meanwhile, according to a German tabloid, Müller and Bayern have already begun initial talks over a 2-year contract extension. Alaba is another player who has been tipped to leave the Allianz Arena when the transfer window opens, with Barcelona and Real Madrid interested in his services. And talking about UEFA, President Alexander Seferin has defended decision to play the Atalanta versus Valencia Champions League clash earlier in February this year, despite the looming threat of coronavirus. An immunologist in Italy claimed that game might have been a trigger for the devastating coronavirus pandemic in Bergamo, as nearly 40,000 fans traveled to the San Siro as Atalanta secured a stunning 4-1 win in the first leg of their Champions League round of 16 tie against the Spanish Giants. The mayor of Bergamo labeled the match as a biological bomb in spreading the virus from Italy to Spain that could have helped speed up the spread of COVID-19. Seferin, however, has rejected any criticism of UEFA for failing to ensure the safety of fans in Milan last month, insisting there was no way of knowing at that stage how quickly the crisis would have developed. The two teams, of course, played out the reverse leg behind closed doors 15 days later, with Seferin insisting that the decisions over postponing games were not at all taken lightly. Brazil coach Tite has claimed that superstar Neymar is not irreplaceable, but has also admitted that the winger is an essential cog in the national team. Neymar has been a mainstay with Brazil's national team for a long time now, amassing 101 appearances while scoring 61 goals in the process. He's currently third on the all-time list for his country's goal scorers, and despite all that, he has won only one trophy so far in his international career, the 2013 Confederations Cup, as he missed out of the Copa America winning squad last year due to injury. Brazil boss Tite has heaped praise on Neymar, but also says, of course, that Brazil will have to make do without him if he ever isn't available. Of course, this season Neymar has been doing well with PSG, scoring 13 goals from 15 games in the league. Let's go to break. When we come back, it'll be time to get into the Football Insider right here on Soccer Nation. Don't forget, it's proudly brought to you by Peak Chocolate.
Children, they enjoy all the attention. They get all the free kisses. Kisses that we have to beg for. And if that's not enough, they think Peak Chocolate is for them alone. Well, they are wrong.
That's right. With Peak Chocolate, it doesn't matter if you're a kid or a grown-up. Have a cup today and enjoy the delicious nourishment of chocolatey goodness. Now available in 400-gram family pack.
Peak. Reach for your peak.
Welcome back to the show. Let's get to the Football Insider. And today, let's talk about ex-Liverpool star Maxi Rodriguez, who has admitted lying to Rafa Benitez to seal the transfer. The former Liverpool midfielder obviously has had plenty of time alone with his conscience during this quarantine period, and also just let a long-held secret off his chest by revealing he was so desperate to secure his future to Anfield a decade ago that he told a tactical white lie to get the deal over the line. The Argentine international was so eager to play under Rafa Benitez that he lied about being able to speak English after learning that the Liverpool boss was only interested in signing players who could already communicate in English. I was very well at Atletico because I was the captain and I knew the city, he said, but I was always crazy about English football. Rafa told me it was very important that everyone spoke English in the changing room. He asked me if I could, and I said yes to be calm. Of course, I didn't want the transfer to collapse. With Benitez satisfied, Rodriguez then signed for the Reds in the winter of 2010 on a free transfer from Atleti. When I arrived in England, I had a press conference. Benitez said he would start and then I would follow. hello. And it was then that I grabbed him and told him, look, I need to confess something. I don't speak English. Or the only thing I can say is hello. I didn't want the transfer to fall through, and he replied with words that are not radio friendly. Up next, of course, we've got the Stars Run right here on Sugar Nation, still proudly brought to you by Peak Chocolate.
Children, they enjoy all the attention. They get all the free kisses. Kisses that we have to beg for. And if that's not enough, they think Peak Chocolate is for them alone. Well, they are wrong.
That's right. With Peak Chocolate, it doesn't matter if you're a kid or a grown-up. Have a cup today and enjoy the delicious nourishment of chocolatey goodness. Now available in 400-gram family pack.
Peak. Reach for your peak.
Welcome back to the show. Let's get to the stats and wrap things up and tell you, of course, that since the start of the 2017-2018 season, Wilfred Ndidi and Idrissa Gueye have made 696 tackles combined, while David Ginola is the only player in the Premier League's history to win the PFA Players Player of the Year award while finishing in the bottom half of the table. Also as well, the 1998-1999 season saw more players from outside of the British Isles and Ireland in the PFA Team of the Year for the first time, with Jaap Stam, David Ginola, Emmanuel Petit, Patrick Vieira, Nicolas Anelka, and Dwight York all making the list. Arsenal, of course, considered just 17 goals in the 1998-1999 Premier League season, is the fewest of any non-title winning side in the competition's history. While, of course, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the only player in Premier League history to score a double brace as a substitute in Man United's 8-1 win over Nottingham Forest. And that's the guys today on Soccer Nation. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Join us next time right here on this dial for another edition. As always, proudly brought to you by Peak Chocolate.
Tune in to Soccer Nation every weekday. Live right here on Today FM from 6:15 to 6:30 p.m. It's the best 15 minutes of football anywhere on radio.
You don't want to miss it.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Are you in search of a place to do all your audio recordings? From jingle, documentaries, church messages, and lots more.
Are you in search of a platform to give your business maximum exposure? Look no further. Come advertise with Today FM. With our unbeatable reach, we'll give your business the boost it so dearly needs. Visit us now at number 1 Today FM Drive off East West Road, Rumekini, Port Harcourt. Whatever the business is, we'll give it a voice.
They call me Burn, boy. Yeah. Words. You no go believe the stress they try to carry put for my head. The way they move, I swear to God, these people must have the grace. Then they wonder why many people they follow me. I know they introduce myself, now your fault if you don't know me. So what you doing over there, over and that side, girl? You know, so say this, when I don't really mean to hurt your feelings. It's the lifestyle, this is how we live it. Tell them enough finish, enough finish, enough finish.
All right, I tried to do something and it just couldn't work right now. All right, so I'm just going to stick to what I know and I'm going to be there. All right. Okay, it's that show where you get to hear all the latest gossip and gist in the world of entertainment. It's Entertainment Recap on your premium talk news and sports radio station, Today 95.1 FM. And my name is Dave Roberts. All right, I'm pretty fired up in the studio right now because the person I have with me, hey. Oh my God! It's going to be fire back to back to back to back. It's going to be gyration. It's going to be vibration. It's going to be all shades of happiness on the show tonight. So I'm just going to give her a very unique. Why did I mention? No. I don't need to. I need to give her this very outstanding and royal intro. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of Port Harcourt City, put your hands together as I make welcome the one, the only, Funny Udeme.
Oh my God. Thank you.
You're not
actually,
you can't do this right now.
Come on, what are you talking about?
I don't understand what you're saying. Can you speak your natural language, please?
You want people now to that. Listen, you want people now to start saying that now have come around now to do another something.
I don't understand what you're trying to talk about.
See, listen to me. This thing is something that is a possessive.
Okay.
When you want to be an aggrandizement, it's something that is a cliche.
Don't talk about that. It's something that is something that
you need to know now.
Oh
this
my God. Oh my God.
It's a recap. I tell you now. This is the show we're talking about, baby. Entertainment Express, baby. You know what I'm talking about.
Did I try with the accent? Did I do it very well?
You did novel. Yeah, you did novel.
Hey, yo, this is nice.
Yeah. I'm actually mixing it up, you know what I'm saying?
All right. So Funny Udeme is going to be here with me, and we're going to be giving you all the latest gossip and gist. We're going to be giving it to you hot. All right? Okay, quickly, Funny Udeme, what do you think about Burna Boy?
I think Burna Boy is
don't do this.
What's up?
Don't do this.
Come on. Allow me to do my thing.
You should not take that place. No. Don't do this. Don't do this.
No, so so many people think I don't speak English, so I'm trying to.
I let them think.
I'm trying to break
Let them keep thinking. I agree with them. Let them keep thinking.
Keep thinking. Okay, Burna Boy is the 20 is the new generation autograph of Fira.
What's autograph?
You see what now they talk now. I try make. I think you're seeing it now. I said let me do another thing. You say no. I should be myself. Now I'm being myself. Now asking me now. Even me I don't understand what I talk. You they tell me something.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
It's the new distant autograph.
Okay.
Is the youth type of autograph of this man Fera.
Okay. Okay, it's like similar to okay.
So that if you hear his song, I think that the mother said that time used to excursion point Fera.
Guys, follows Fela to excursion or something. Is it what you're trying to say?
No, it is escort them the for studio.
Okay. He escorts. She escorts Fela.
They do a backup.
Okay. A backup artist.
Escort them now.
Okay.
So that's what I'm here now that they have to do.
Okay.
You understand? So this thing now is some. I know everything about entertainment. I know things about Burna Boy. I know things about Fireboy, Snow Boy, all those boys.
Please, who is Snow Boy? Like
Snow Boy is a new kid under the block.
Under the
yes.
Oh God. This is crazy.
Is that not how they say it?
No. I needed to just put my hands together for you on this.
It's a pressure, right?
Please, just hold that thought there. Ladies and gentlemen, Funny Udeme in the building. Yes. By the way, Burna Boy has unveiled the title of his new album, and it's titled Twice as Tall. All right, and he opened up about losing the Grammy Award to Angelique Kidjo, and that was To me, it was more of a blessing in disguise for him because it comes as a very big plus to him, considering the fact that other people have been there, other people had been doing things, and they were not able to hit that kind of the
cliche.
Thank you very much.
That is the point you hit of your association.
Yes, that height in the industry. And he came along and he did that in quite a short time. So he came out to say that he was going through a lot. Apparently at that period he was sick when he lost that particular award to Angelique Kidjo. And Angelique Kidjo is one of his biggest roles. Do you know Angelique Kidjo?
I know, yes, now.
Do you remember that song? Wombo Lombo, Wombo Lombo, Wombo Lombo. That used to... No, that's how... You don't sing it like that.
What is it now? Is that not how she sung it? Angelique Kidjo, she was in Nigeria now before she left for
Okay,
for she's a Tokorist now.
No, she's from Benin Republic.
That's what I'm saying now. The same thing. If you check Benin Republic and Togo, they get an association. They get meeting every Sunday where they meet.
Oh my God, Funny Udeme, please do not do this to the fans right now.
Oh, sorry,
they want to hear the latest, not what you're trying to say.
No face.
All right. Also, Burna Boy revealed that he's the only artist that has written or helped him write a song is Peruzzi. Do you know Peruzzi?
Just now.
He's a Nigerian artist. Yeah, you remember Amaka Disappoint?
Just now. Right now, boy, I've moved to this in Adamawa State now.
Okay, is he serving there?
7 years. I say youth cover now. I know the guy now.
Oh my God.
You used to do an intern in Today FM before you come on.
Okay. Oh really?
That I never start work here. They tell you something. Just now. Oh just.
Okay. All right. Moving on to something that I would want you to give me your very honest thoughts and opinion for New Deme. Toke Makiwan, the popular controversial Nigerian OAP, has come out to say that any man who is intimidated by a woman's success or a very successful career isn't worthy to be with her.
Point or correct. Association itwai.
Oh, what do you mean by that one?
It means that I am stood with her.
You stood with her even before she said the.
I tell you,
you were in her mind when she said the
I'm telling you something. Forget about it. Tell you what thing that happened for time.
Okay, go on, please. Let me hear
There
your
is something that you need to knowledge about this life. This life is like a two-way coin.
Okay.
The left and the right side of the coin.
Okay.
You understand? Yes. Now this thing that Toke Makinwo have talked now.
Hey, Toke Makinwa. No.
Makinwo.
You don't change the name for her.
Okay, Toke now. Instead of Toke have tongue now, it is a truthful. There are some men that cannot stood your aggrandizement.
Okay. All right.
Your equilibrium hemoglobin. They cannot stand it.
They are frightened by you.
Yes, because when they saw that God is lifting you up, He said, "Keep me faithful, I will lift him high."
Okay.
Jesus, no, you understand? When
right.
Jesus has lifted you up now, there are people that cannot stand that. They see you as a winch.
And
he fought. You understand? So this case, I am a fear for her. I am a threatening for her. She will not make money now and disappoint me like Amaka
and treat me like a very small boy in the house.
And that is your mindset. That is your mindset because of your kind of association epitome. Are you getting me? Yes.
So apparently what you're trying to say now is even if the guy is working and he's not making money, he should be comfortable with the fact that the wife is making more money than him.
Exactly. Now, if God give you woman waiting money past you, go tell God thank you now. All you need to do honor, respect and say.
What if the woman is intimidating you with her money?
That is where you get to land and slap now, making him
hey, you did not just say that.
I said, Lord, I don't say that I land and physical slap.
Or what kind of slap?
You land an emotional slap.
Please, how do you land that emotional slap? Because I don't know. Just teach me.
Different type day. You food on come. You doesn't chop food. No, you must chop food because you get okay spread. Then the emotional slap because now we may not even if you not chop their food, you know they pay them. But now emotional slap now when we say communion and holy communion, that one it doesn't keep
holy communion.
Oh yes, that have to do around 12. That one depend them where they say, okay, come and beat me physical.
Oh my God! Did you just say holy communion?
Holy communion, aka communion, holy sanctuary. I'm telling you.
My God.
So if you have a man that is a very, you see, if elements, let me tell you now, if you have a woman now, okay, like me, I'm a comedian. I do work.
A comedian.
Yes,
is that the like the French version of the word comedian?
Oh, yes.
Okay, it's a
Yes.
comedian.
Comedian.
Okay.
You understand? I tried for that one now. Like now, I don't perform in front of Kofono, in front of Deputy Kofono. That was last year.
Oh.
You understand? But that does not mean that people will not. That now a man will come and say, this scale, we don't perform in front of number one first man and the deputy. This scale, she's a witch.
Okay, let me twist this question and ask you.
yes.
All right. See, if you look at this man, I think we saw this very controversial movie at some point. What's the name of that movie? Acrimony.
I watch them for dream now. Makes sense. It's a sweet movie.
You don't have Wi-Fi. You do not go to the cinema. Or
You think concern me and wifey? I say you think concern me if now most of money there for house.
Okay. Back to what I was
Nigerian
saying.
fashion now I watch.
Back to what I was saying. What if you see that this man is not willing to work, and you're making more money than him?
Oh, you go there for house. They carry iron.
You know.
They carry dumbbell.
Yes.
I go young them the gym now.
Okay, so everybody
What
becomes
thing be
broke.
that one? I don't tell you say I want marry muscle. Go and work. What kind thing be that one? You just be like man when they go work, woman go sit down, wait one shot for house. They drink use. You're drinking use.
Use.
Yes, you're drinking use.
Oh.
The man is going to work. When you don't even use finish, you'll come sit down with your neighborship, they gossip. When you gossip finish now, when it's about that time for the man to come back, you will now be a returnee back to sender.
Hey.
What is that now? It doesn't work like that.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
Very wrong. That is a fast passer, epitome, aggrandizement.
Okay, still hold that thought. I know you're very angry right now,
I'm angry,
and
I face.
you want to break somebody's head.
I dey face.
Let me tell you somebody who is very angry too, so you could I don't know,
Disinfect
share
person.
the person's problems. Yemi Alade, you know Yemi Alade, right?
Here now. Now my school made that time for school.
Okay.
Yeah, now far would you put the web and go.
Okay.
But now I don't know what thing go to come bro.
You don't have a number again?
I delete them to the worry me now. I said I'm going to come and now I block them safe.
All right, so Yemi Alade is blasting the Lagos State government over the relief materials that the Lagos State government has sent to them. Apparently, she's saying that relief packages of 3 loaves of bread for 6 families isn't cutting it at all. Like, she's not happy with the fact that the government is giving such, little things to contribute to what they want to.
Oh, no face. Let me get you correctly. 3 loaf of bread for 6 families.
For 6 families.
Even Jesus, that time when we there for what? When he feed and the multitude of people when Jesus feed. Not be 5 loaf of bread and 2 fish. 5 bread.
That's why they want to replicate what Jesus did.
No, this is not a cheese. This anti-cheese.
It's anti-cheese.
Cheese. Because right now the hunger don't increase. How can you carry 3 loaf of bread? I stand with them. I stand with this scale. You know good. If you know. See, there's something that you have to live it, earn it, use it, kiss it, have it.
What if the government at this point can just afford only this particular amount?
What thing they do you now? Now you they talk this kind of thing. How now they coffin mango fee afford them bread? They get money. Forget about that thing away.
Well, according to Yemi Alade, she said it's very disappointing of the government and they should do better than that. I totally agree with her on that particular one. Meanwhile, somebody who is doing very well, I think we should put our hands together for him. Somebody who is doing very, very well. I'm talking about my brother. You know, my name is David. I have a twin brother. Yeah, it's a twin brother. His name is Davido. I came out first. So my own is David.
Good face. You say you come, you see your chest.
It's very big.
You see as you resemble hunger. You say you resemble the video. No, I don't make face you.
Okay. So Davido announced that his dad has donated the sum of 750 million naira to the government to help and fight the coronavirus.
That is, well, if nobody said
that's the kind of money we control. It's my family.
See, let me tell you, man, not talk this thing again, man. No face now.
Okay, sorry. I wouldn't interrupt you again.
In your lifetime, don't say that.
It's a small money now. That's why we could give it out there.
So I don't tell you say resemble hanker that time. I'll tell you resemble kitchen board. I don't tell you now.
Sorry. Please go ahead.
Because the video one of the always licking mad like reptile. I never see you lick mad like reptile before.
Because I'm not a reptile now.
It's not me seeing me reptile now. That means I don't correct. But let me tell you something. If not so this coronavirus go, the person go they get better money. The sickness good.
No.
At least you go use and keep change now.
My issue right now is this particular money that they are releasing, is it going to get to the proper people who need it? Or some people will just come in and they would still find a way to steal from this particular money?
But you know that this country, they don't sure they don't sift out a country. They don't sift out a country now. Come on, the original country. Keep the fake.
Okay.
You understand? So anything where they come will be original. They don't shift them from road.
So where is the original one now?
I don't know where they hang them somewhere.
Oh, so we should go and look for it and
Just
bring it
now,
back.
because anything we get to do with money, they sift them for road before you reach land. They don't controversial
Oh my god. So let's not get angry. I don't like it when you get angry on that particular issues that concern Nigeria. All right. Okay. So first off, I'm already seeing the phone lines buzzing, but since we are in a season where people are needing things and people are in need of so many things like recharge vouchers and data, I feel like I'm in the mood to give out something to somebody. All right, so call up and tell me your name and your details. All right. If you're a very frequent listener of the program, yes, Funny Udeme is here to give you a lot of money. She's loaded. She's a very big woman. Already, so we're already receiving calls. The numbers to call 0810-9510951 or 0817-00000951. Hello to the 95.1 FM. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I greet you. What's your name, sir?
Greet you. Hello.
Hello, what's your name, sir?
My name is Gideon.
Your name is what?
Gideon.
Okay, Gideon. Are you a frequent caller on the show?
Yes.
Okay. So do well to send your number to 0701-933-9962. All right. Udeme is loaded to give you cash.
Yes.
Hello.
Is the network.
Hello to the 95.1 FM.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name?
This is Michael.
Okay, Michael. Please send in your details to 0701-933-9962.
Is it your SMS line?
Yes, this is the SMS line I'm giving to you right now.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
But the number you said I should send is my account number.
Not your account number, like your own personal number. If you want to send there is nothing Udeme can do.
There's nothing Gerard can do. Send me your accountancy number and your PIN.
She said you should send her. Is it your
accountancy number and your PIN?
His accountant's number too.
Yes. No number where they use for your bank now.
Okay.
And your PIN.
Okay.
I'll make you
Is
sign.
it pen or pin?
Your PIN.
Funny, do that.
All right. Hello to the 95.1 FM.
Hello.
Oh, the lines are acting up. Oh, the net. What is happening? Please do well to call back. The numbers again 0817-00000951 or 0810-9510951. Hello to the 95.1 FM.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name?
My name is Darlington.
Darlington. Where are you calling from?
Yes. From Murumagala.
Okay. Darlington, send your number, your details, whatever, to 0701-933-9962. Udeme is loaded.
Yes.
Oh my God, she's loaded to bless your life
Just
right now.
bring it on. You brought it on.
I didn't get the number, please.
Okay, 0701
Okay.
933-9962.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello to the 95.1 FM. Hello, good evening. What's your name? Okay, Onyeka. Okay, welcome to the show, Onyeka. Where are you calling from?
From Chuba.
Okay, from Chuba. Okay, so you want to receive something from Udeme, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so send your details to 0701-933-9962. Okay.
Yes, just send. Don't waste this time.
As long as you called in, or as long as you keep calling in. Those are the particular people we are going to select. Okay. Hello to the 95.1 FM.
Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, my name is Wisdom. I'm calling from Egypt.
Okay. Wisdom? Is it Wisdom?
Wisdom from Egypt.
From Egypt, yes.
Okay. So do well to send your number to 0701-933-9962. All right?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Calls. Hello to the 95.1 FM. What's your name?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name?
My name is Gift, calling from River State.
Oh, Gift, you're our first female caller on the show.
Thank you.
So you want to receive something from Udeme, right?
Yes.
What do you want to receive from her?
Anything. It's okay by me.
Anything.
Anything.
Yes.
So if she just buys one hanky or one nose mask and gives to you, you take it.
I will appreciate.
All right. Okay, send your number to 0701-933-9962. All right. Hello, Today 95.1 FM.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name is Bob from Port Harcourt.
Your name is what?
Bob from Port Harcourt.
Boz.
Bob.
Bob. Are you a frequent caller on the show?
Now. Yeah.
Okay. So you want to receive something from us today, Abby?
Of course.
All right. Send your number to 0701-933-9962. All right.
Okay. My number, like
your number, your details, anything you want.
Jeez.
Account number.
We are not scared of you.
Anything where you want to send across. We are here for you.
Okay, I send Nana.
Send it.
All right. Okay. Hello to the 95.1 FM. Okay, we lost that. Just one more lucky caller who is going to have something, and it's we want to give our own quota to the society. All right.
Yes, our friend.
Yes. Hello to the 95.1 FM. Please, somebody should come and change this person right now.
Oh, left, right, center. Everywhere you hide, they show yourself. Okay.
All right.
Just send your contact number or anything.
Anything we want to do for you, please. Anything you see, just manage it. All right, we have to let you go now. All right. Okay, so the calls are just coming in.
Yes, so it's a very, very numerical because.
And I'm so happy that we are able to contribute and give back to the society.
See what they say, you rise by lifting others. You rise by lifting others.
It's not rifting, it's lifting.
Rifting. Okay, you rise as you carry people up.
Better that way.
Hey. So now, as you are gift to society now, it's something that God is going to blessing.
You know, and everybody wants to go to heaven. I think this is like.
They doesn't want to die.
Yeah. So that when we get to heaven, God will now say,
"Sir, you are my faithful servant. You have done well. You have done well."
Okay. So, for those of you who sent your numbers and those of you who called in, we would like to let our very own. Our media personnel would like to let you, would like you to hear from him, and then we are going to give you your confirmation codes. All right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So you don't change it out.
Just keep listening. All right.
Today, cause no way.
All right. So for those of you who called, all of you who called, and all of you who sent account numbers from Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people, here's telling you a very big April Fool.
have to go now. Thanks for joining in on the show. I did the show with Funny Udeme, and it was a blast today. I'm sorry. We just had to do it. It's not our fault, all right? I see the text messages still coming in, but it's well, all right? My name is Dave Roberts, and do well to join me tomorrow, and do well to follow me on socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and the likes, all right? Have a great night. See you guys tomorrow.
What is happening in your community? Does your community feel government presence? Do you think your community's voice isn't heard by anyone that matters?
Join us on Area Talk, the platform that zones in on happenings in, out, and around your local communities. We focus on the problem and take eyewitness accounts to help us get a better picture on any issue. Every Tuesdays to Thursdays by 7 p.m. on Today's Connect, only on Today 95.1 FM.
You anywhere you day, brother man, you day.
What is happening in your community? Does your community feel government presence? Do you think your community's voice isn't heard by anyone that matters?
Join us on Area Talk, the platform that zones in on happenings in, out, and around your local communities. We focus on the problem and take eyewitness accounts to help us get a better picture on any issue. Every Tuesdays to Thursdays by 7 p.m. on Today's Connect, only on Today 95.1 FM.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Area.
Talk.
Area.
Talk.
Okay. You're welcome to today's edition of Area Talk right here on the Voice of the People. My name is Buchi, and her name is also Buchi.
Yeah, my name is Coco.
Oh man, why did you just do that? Why did you do that?
Yeah, Buchi and Coco.
All right, so just take a listen to this.
There's very little we can do. Like I said, it's been congested before. But now the fact that the court is not in session, and we're not getting admission, a lot of our inmates are getting released and no one is coming in. But at the social distancing, there's very little we can do in terms of social distancing because we don't have any extended cells that we can put them. The only thing we have put in place is to have an isolation center in the prison so that if there is anybody that is sick, we take to the clinic. If it is diagnosed to be having any symptoms that we give symptoms, we isolate them and put them in a separate place pending when we know that there's no problem. But for now, we don't have any problem as regards the coronavirus anyway. Well, there's very little we can do. Like I said, it's been congested before. But now the fact that the court is not in session, and we're not getting admission, a lot of our inmates are getting released and no one is coming in. But at the social distancing, there's very little we can do in terms of social distancing because we don't have any extended cells that we can put them. The only thing we have put in place is to have an isolation center in the prison so that if there is anybody that is sick, we take to the clinic. If it is diagnosed to be having any symptoms that we give symptoms, we isolate them and put them in a separate place when we know that there's no problem. But for now, we don't have any problem as regards the coronavirus anyway. We already put measures in place. We have a thermometer where you definitely your temperature is taken. Your hand is washed. You have to wash your hand even with and even any visitors whatsoever. And we have solved all religious activities so that's not a question of visitors coming in and go and do any religious activities. So we are definitely observing the same precautionary measures which is being observed in some other institutions. We already put measures in place. We have a thermometer where you definitely your temperature is taken. Your hand is washed. You have to wash your hand even with and even any visitors whatsoever. And we have solved all religious activities so that's not a question of visitors and go and do any religious activities. So we are definitely observing the same precautionary measures which is being observed in some other institutions.
Okay, once again, area.
Talk.
Area.
Talk. Yes.
All right, it's still the April Fool's edition of broadcast right here on the Voice of the People, Today 95.1 FM. Now, what you just listened to is the voice of the Nigerian Correctional Service, controller of the Nigerian Correctional Service right here in Port Harcourt, who goes by the name of Olumide Tinoye. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Olumide Tinoye.
Tinoye.
Yes.
Okay. I beg your pardon. Thank you very much for the correction. Since we're talking about correctional facility.
Oh, yeah. You need the correction. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, and, he has been speaking on the difficulties in observing social distancing right inside the facility in Port Harcourt. Speaking about the correctional facility right here in Port Harcourt. Okay. And, that's what he had to say. He said that due to congestion in the facility, it has been very difficult observing social distancing among the inmates in the Port Harcourt Correctional Facility. Now, Bolu, have you visited the correctional facility in Port Harcourt?
No, I've actually not gone to any prison, if that's the usual word that everybody would understand. I've not been there before. I've not been around there before, but. Yeah, one day I just heard somebody going around that side. I think it's around the Lagos side, the one in Port Harcourt that I know of. But then I've not been inside. I've not been there for any reason or whatsoever. So I don't know where it is.
You have never visited any prison before, Bolu?
Yes.
Like you haven't got taken food to see someone?
Why would I know something? I don't want to sound somehow right now, but
that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing.
Okay.
It's not a good thing. All right, so in a television interview with our correspondent Uchendu Ijowo, the controller, however, confirmed that there has not been any record of new inmates, neither has anyone left the facility in recent times due to the suspension of court activities. You know, the courts have been grounded. Courts have not been sitting, no courts in session. And then he also disclosed that they have been able to set up an isolation center within the facility to separate inmates with signs of the COVID-19, even if they have not recorded any case so far. Do you think that's wise enough? Setting up isolation centers right inside the correctional facility.
Why don't they just decongest the prison and just allow some people who on
minor offenses,
that on a normal day they shouldn't be in the prison? They should just let these people go instead of just keeping them in the prison and trying to create isolation centers, because even the outside world have not finished creating isolation centers. So how do the prisons, which are already congested, how do they want to create isolation centers?
So many countries have been known to free prisoners. So many countries have been known to free prisoners. Right, starting from Iraq in the Middle East. A whole lot of countries actually.
Yeah,
I can't even go into mentioning listing them right now. So many countries, and they free these prisoners not just because they want to free these prisoners. They free these prisoners as measures, as steps taken towards combating or reducing the spread of the COVID-19.
Yeah.
Okay, and so
I actually saw a particular news that Sudan actually released all its prisoners.
And then Chad or Niger released about 1,000 and something prisoners, and amongst them, their key opposition party leader who has been in prison since last year.
Yeah.
He was freed amongst them.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah, just to beef up the fight against the COVID-19 or coronavirus, like most people call it. So for those of you who did not listen, I'm going to play it once more for you to take a listen.
Well, there's very little we can do. Like I said, it's been congested before. But now the fact that the court is not in session, and we're not getting admission, a lot of our inmates are getting released and no one is coming in. But at the social distancing, there's very little we can do in terms of social distancing because we don't have any extended cells that we can put them. The only thing we have put in place is to have an isolation center in the prison so that if there's anybody that is sick, we take to the clinic. If it's diagnosed to be having any symptoms that we give symptoms, we isolate them and put them in a separate place when we know that there's no problem. But for now, we don't have any problem as regards the coronavirus anyway. We already put measures in place. We have a thermometer where you definitely your temperature is taken. Your hand is washed. You have to wash your hand even before and even any visitors whatsoever. And we have solved all religious activities, so there's no question of visitors coming in and go and do any religious activities. So we are definitely observing the same precautionary measures which is being observed in some other institutions.
All right, so speaking about that particular infrared thermometer that he just mentioned, he just made mention of, before this time, the infrared thermometer used to be about 5,000 naira. Yeah, something between 5K and 10K. But do you know how much the infrared thermometer goes for right now?
How much?
I don't think it's less than 50K.
Okay, this is so funny right now.
Seriously.
But then everything has gone
shot up. Yeah.
Like, everything is being hiked. Everything is on the increase. You want to buy this, you can't buy it successfully. You can't say, okay, I'm going to take this amount of money out. I'm going to buy this thing, and then you buy that thing. It's not possible. You have to add extra money, like double that amount. I don't know what's going on, but we really hope that this comes to an end very soon.
All right, so that's that on the Nigerian prisons. Now, let me tell you something. I have been opportunity to visit the prisons.
Okay. So
yeah.
Tell us about it.
I've been opportunity to visit the prisons, and man, you don't want to know the conditions inside there. Those guys are being jam-packed. They have a section where they refer to as corridor. I knew you were going to laugh. They have a section where they refer to as corridor. And then corridor, and then they have corner post. Now, corridor, if you understand what I mean by corridor, I'm speaking about like now this place, this studio, okay? This studio could take up to about 80 people.
This studio?
Yeah, 80 people. So what they do is one person lays down, the other person lays down behind him, the other person lays down behind the other person, just like that. They lay down behind each other, facing each other. And then they push push until you guys are just lying down straight faced. Like you can't move. You can't move, and then they chuck you guys up like that from one edge to the other edge. Now, that's the corridor. The corner post guys. The corner post guys are guys who can afford what's it called now? Cartons. You know, normal, usual cartons that they use in packaging here. Who can afford cartons? You pay for those cartons, and then you get to sit close to the walls. Those are the senior men.
Senior citizens.
Yeah.
Senior prison citizens.
Those are, exactly. You could call them that.
Okay.
Senior prison citizens. So that's what the situation is like inside there. So I'm just imagining, just a peradventure.
If somebody actually has coronavirus in that place, everybody in that place, because they are so jam-packed.
Everybody goes down with it.
Everybody in that room will go down. Even outside the room, the officers, all of them will contact this particular virus. So it's going to be very, very terrible. But we hope that they do something about it real fast and then they decongest these prisons before things go out of hand. You know.
All right. So that's about the Nigerian prisons. Now, the civil society organizations in Rivers State have called on the Rivers State government to tender an apology to members of the public for what it described as misleading information on the curfew declared in parts of the state. The chairman of the organization, NFR George Will, made the call in an interview with our correspondent, Sandra Kenneth. George Will also asked the Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike to prevail on the Rivers State Police Command to immediately release those arrested during confusion that trailed the announcement of the curfew.
The Rivers State Civil Society organizations call on the Rivers State government to apologize to Rivers people for misinforming them on the dusk to dawn curfew imposed in some part of the state as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. We equally ask the Rivers State government to ask the Commissioner of Police to release all arrested citizens as a result of this misinformation unconditionally. On the suspension of Dobe Akpolo government chairman and his deputy, Reeve says to wish to direct the mind of the Rivers State government to the Supreme Court judgment on the 11th of December 2019, where the Supreme Court stated clearly that no state governor has the power to suspend any local government chairman or councillor without the input of the State House of Assembly. In fact, the court emphasized that the local government is a tier of government on its own, and no tier of government have the right to suspend or expel the other. We join all well-meaning Rivers people to ask the government to reverse its decision and toe the path of law. Our citizen coalition supports the Rivers State government on its decision to place a 24-hour curfew in some part of the state, particularly as it conforms with the Quarantine Act of 2004. However, we must state that the government have placed the cart before the ox on the following grounds. 1. That the Rivers State government is yet to mention its palliative measures to cushion the effect of this curfew, as 70% of these citizens are daily income earners. 2. The Rivers State government is yet to provide alternate food markets, as all markets have been shut down at short notice. 3. The government have not provided buses at strategic points for essential workers without means of transportation. Of course, we are aware not every essential worker have access to cars or other means of transportation. So we call that the Rivers State government should provide cars at strategic points on all those on all essential workers who will be affected by this decision. Our citizen coalition supports the Rivers State government on its decision to place a 24-hour curfew in some part of the state, particularly as it conforms with the Quarantine Act of 2004. However, we must state that the government have placed the cart before the ox on the following grounds. 1. That the Rivers State government is yet to mention its palliative measures to cushion the effect of this curfew, as 70% of these citizens are daily income earners. 2. The Rivers State government is yet to provide alternate food markets, as all markets have been shut down at short notice. 3. The government have not provided buses at strategic points for essential workers without means of transportation. Of course, we are aware not every essential worker have access to cars or other means of transportation. So we call that the Rivers State government should provide cars at strategic points on all those on all essential workers who will be affected by this decision.
Okay, so for those of you who have been following up a trend of events right here in the state, you would recall that the very first, or was it the second? Yeah, the second broadcast by the River State government, Governor by he said, he made mention of the fact that a dusk till dawn curfew
Yeah, that was the first thing. They
exactly
said.
would be imposed on the state.
Yeah.
Now, dusk till dawn, just like I did try to explain yesterday on the show, dusk till dawn makes reference to night till morning. That's what dusk till dawn means.
Yeah.
The only difference is he didn't state the particular time. Now, prior to this time, we used to have governments say, well, there's going to be a dusk till dawn curfew from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Yeah, something
or
like that.
7 p.m. to 7 a.m. or 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. Or they could even say from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. You know, they had to be specific timing.
Yeah.
Okay, but he didn't make mention of any specific timing. He only said dusk till dawn.
Yeah.
That means the curfew is going to last from night till morning. That means within this period, between the hours of the night time and the morning time, nobody's allowed to step outside. You need to remain indoors. That's simply what dusk till dawn means. But then the next morning, early in the morning, when Nigerians, when River State's indigents, when River State citizens, people who reside and do business and work in River State, set out woke up to go about their various businesses, woke up to go to work and all of that. They encountered security agencies, the military, the police, civil defense, SARS, what have you.
As of yesterday, we're actually going home, and then I saw some, officials on the road and those kind of things. And, they were the military, the police, all of them are working like hand in hand, and they're making sure that nobody moves around and all those kind of things. I think it's good that they're working hand in hand to do this.
And then people began to wonder, like, what part of dusk till dawn do these security agencies not understand?
Yeah.
Is it that they don't understand that the River State governor was referring to the hours between the night and the morning? Why are they out here? This is morning, and we're supposed to be going to work. We're supposed to be allowed free movement because the dusk till dawn curfew duration has expired. So why are they out here? Only for the Minister of Information, Pauline Usunsirim, to come forward and say, well, the governor was actually making reference to a 24-hour curfew. And we went like,
It doesn't work that way.
So that's exactly why the civil society organizations are saying the government needs to apologize. The River State government needs to apologize to its citizens with regards that misleading, in quotes, misleading information on the curfew declared in parts of the state. Okay?
Yeah.
Coming out to tell the citizens, well, it's dusk till dawn. Meanwhile, they actually meant to say 24 hours.
Curfew.
And now, as a result of that, I'm meant to understand that as a result of that, some people were arrested.
Yeah, and in the news you actually read earlier, it stated that the people were supposed to be released. They're going to be released. That was what you read out right now. So really hope that they release them as stated there, because already the prisons are, congested.
Okay, so he's actually appealing to the government to immediately release those arrested during the confusion. Yeah, during the confusion that trailed the announcement of the curfew. Okay, so I really do not know what you think about that. I don't know what you make of that. But in a while from now, we're going to open up the phone lines so you can call in, and we also would love to know the level of compliance. The level of compliance with regards to the directive of the River State government, wherever you are. There is the curfew imposed between Education Bus Stop and Ajib. Yeah, that's the Query Road, right? Education Bus Stop and Ajib. And then the curfew is also imposed between Obiri Query Axis, Ozoba,
Rumalogo, Shoba.
All of that, and all of that is within Obiakbo, the local government area. So I passed this morning, and it was quite dry. It was deserted. I'm speaking about the East-West Road between Choba and just the East-West Road.
Yeah,
the East-West Road. It was deserted. I couldn't see regular vehicular movement. I could actually see security operatives, the military, stationed at the junction with very fierce-looking canes. You know, that you wouldn't love to be whipped
I've
with.
actually been seeing a lot of videos online from even other states that the military officials, they have like canes in their hands, and then they see you walk around or do things that they've prohibited. They will
whip the hell out of
They
you.
will beat. Oh God, I've been looking at that video and I've been laughing. Really hope it doesn't get to that in River State. And
Okay.
that tips so people were not beaten yesterday, though.
All right. And then we're still waiting for the River State government. We're still waiting very patiently. Speaking about palliative measures, the River State government also made mention of the fact that they were going to make available markets. Markets, that the state government was, trying to put in place strategic markets, where citizens could get to, purchase foodstuffs at subsidized prices. Yeah,
That's
he did.
thoughtful of them.
Yeah, he did make mention of that, and I did say kudos to him.
Yeah,
so,
and considering the fact that a lot of people have been complaining about getting foodstuff, even we ourselves have been complaining. A man particularly called one time. He had his money in his hands. He wanted to get.
But he couldn't
foodstuff.
get anything to eat. He went out. He went in search of a restaurant. Nothing. He couldn't find anything
to eat. So
all
this
right?
kind of thing would just serve as a palliative measure for people to get foodstuffs and eat well. So all right, guys, we'll be right back after this short break.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
Hey, no be by mouth, no be by talk. You feel say you sabi cook. Oh yeah, Naija noodles ultimate sir don land for with the mouth. Oh yeah, carry your pot, carry your spoon. Time don reach as 28 housemates go waka on top this competition for the person wey go win this ogbonge cooking competition. You still dey waka? Oh yeah, throw leg run visit www.noodlescookingquest.com
or make you pay into GT Bank account 0130765340. The account name now Media Corp. To collect your admission form, you go carry your bank teller go Today FM, where they Today FM Drive, off East West Road, before UPT 8, Port Harcourt, River State. Admission form na 2,500 naira. Chicken it.
Remember, say you fit stand chance to win better prizes. Third prize 300,000 naira. Second prize 500,000 naira. First prize 1 million naira. With 1 year ambassador brand of 25 million naira. No be here. Don't forget, say other gun body prizes still day. Dates now June to August 2020. Auditions go hold for Uyo, Calabar, Port Harcourt, Lagos, Edo, Delta, Anambra, Abuja, Kaduna, Katsina, Benue, Oyo, Ekiti, Imo, and Enugu State. For more information,
green us for 08038943712
or 0818-389-2850. Our people they talk say better soup na money kill am, but me they talk say better thing na Indomie kill am.
Proudly sponsored by Indomie Noodles
and our official media partner now Today FM 95.1 Port Harcourt.
Eat, play and win.
Welcome back, and it's still Area Talk on your premium talk news sport radio station. Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt, voice of the people. And my name is Buchi, and I also have another
Buchi in the house.
So we are the Buchis. On Area Talk.
Area
Talk. Of course. So you're welcome, and it's still the April 1st, April Fool edition of special programs that we've got in store for you. We are that special. Don't try us.
Why exactly do you think we're called the voice of the people? This is not the reason.
Of course, we do special things.
All right, so we're gonna throw open the phone lines right about now. 0817 0800951 and 08109510951. I'll call this number slowly this time. 0817 0000951 and 0810-9510951. Now, owing to the weather or how crowded the phone lines are going to be, if you're trying to get phone calls across and you're experiencing difficulties, you can as well do well to send texts or WhatsApp messages to the line 0701 9339 962. That is 0701 9339 962. And of course, Bolu will do you the honors of reading out your text messages.
Good evening to you.
Yes, good evening, Area Talk.
You're welcome. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, yeah, Pastor, God is the greatest.
Oh, God is the greatest. Okay.
Welcome.
Okay. Yes. Bushira Fua is not sick.
We just told you that my name is Buchi and her name is Buchi as well. Have you been listening since morning?
I didn't hear the golden voice.
Oh, have you been listening since morning?
Since morning?
Yeah.
No. I have my service, but I know Area Talk comes up.
Then you have missed quite a lot.
But of course,
you have missed quite a lot because today has been a very special edition of our broadcast. Today has been a very special edition of our broadcast, owing to the fact that it's April Fool's Day. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had our programs all juggled up, but go ahead.
Okay. I was actually hearing that people are demanding that the governor need to apologize to the public for the mishap.
Exactly.
In the broadcast of this. But for me, I don't think that the governor actually need to apologize, so to say. My reasons are, since this saga of coronavirus came, it's as if that some of the statements actually coming from citizens or maybe say River State people, not just here in River State, only everywhere. The comments have been very harsh, and most times demanding everybody's was like pouring out his mind. People say whatever that, any government can be confused because this is the first of its kind as far as the whole world is concerned. Since I'm above 50, I've never seen such thing before. Since I got to this, so any government can be confused. And then again, also, our people too, they are very stubborn. The government will say, let's do this, and they will not obey the laws. No law, nothing that has been valid, nothing has been obeyed. Is he carry two passengers in the back? One, no. Is he don't go to the market? Is he don't do this? The government is trying.
We're actually really very stubborn.
Yeah, Nigerians are really stubborn people.
Really stubborn.
So come to think about, nothing has been obeyed. You are saying that the market should be open. What if this thing now is actually up like what we're hearing in Italy and America? What do you think will happen in Nigeria? If you go to the market, a truck, if you open the supermarket today, go there, you see crap, a truck. You open the shop, people go and throw it. So what do you expect the government to do? So it's not about apology. We really need to reason with one another and just stop passing the blame game to one another.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you for calling.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
So in his opinion, he said that he does not feel like the government should actually apologize to the people. That's his opinion anyways. But a lot of people are clamoring for the government to actually apologize to them. Good evening to you. Okay, we lost
that one right there. Let's see if we can take this one.
95.1 FM, good evening. Hello. Please speak up, we can hear you.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, a little bit.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
We lost that one as well.
Seems like it's the network. Good evening. Hello.
Good evening.
This is what Coco girl.
Did you hear Coco's voice here?
What the Buchis?
Okay. My name is Buchi, and her name is Buchi too.
All right, I'm calling from Omboguru.
All right.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Please, I'm pleading. I want to plead with Mr. Governor to release those people. They don't so done. Just for the reason of the quarantine, what we are trying to avoid, because inside that jail, it will be congested. They can't avoid it. They can still touch themselves there. So just for the freedom of the jail, so that they can be released and the jail will be free. For the sake of the disease we are avoiding. You can see that when the jail is congested, there is no how you can isolate. You understand? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
That's true.
So I reason with him if those people can be released for the sake of what we are trying to avoid. Let it not be that we are getting into what we are avoiding. You see? So if they follow their
Okay, but have you thought about how safe the society will be? Releasing people who are supposed to be standing trial, and then convicts.
Most of them, not that most of them are just innocent victims, because some of them don't listen to radio. They don't know what is happening. They don't even listen to news. So don't be surprised that most of them, they are innocent victims. So even the ones that are aware, maybe unexpectedly, they find themselves in this situation. But for the reason of freedom of the jail, there is no how you can isolate inside the jail. So it's like getting what you are avoiding. You are not crowding the jail. But they must surely touch themselves. You can imagine the crowd, the population arrested inside the jail. So they should just consider and free them. Even the law right now, in the court of law, nobody to torchlight their matter.
Of course,
because the law themselves, they have quarantined themselves. So who will follow them up? Who follow the matter up?
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for calling in. The Inspector General of Police actually gave a directive to all police officers nationwide to, limit the number of arrests that they make, the number of detentions
that they do.
Yeah, that they do. I mean, if anyone gets arrested in relation to minor offenses, so to speak, the person should be let off the hook.
On a normal day, like, there's some offenses that shouldn't even make anybody go to the prison. And then you see a lot of people like that in the prison, and then you ask them, what did you do? And then you hear. And
do you know you actually have people in prison that have been awaiting trial for 5 years, 6 years? They're still in prison.
Imagine.
They haven't been sentenced.
Just imagine.
Or
for
convicted.
Minor offenses. Good evening to you.
Even this is calling from Ikofu.
All right, you're welcome.
Honestly speaking, the governor has not been fair to the people. You see, this is a that we have not been able to witness this type of excess. And the people we know, they are confused. Then, based on the fact that the majority of the people, maybe they live hand to mouth. Not so maybe exclude the people living in Nigeria and their life. So there are some measures when you want to adopt it. Now you have to take the concept of the economy. The governor is just a lawyer. Then here he needs advice from economists now to move the state forward so that everybody will depend along in times like this. It's not that you depend on the people. By the way, the governor has not done enough qualitative measure which is supposed to apply before now. It should at the same time, I want to close my border, for example. Then I want to close my border in 2-3 days. Then inform the people. People speak and advocate to the people. And maybe those willing to go to their various rooms so that Port Harcourt will not. Because just said, he didn't even do that. And all the time we have had a lot of, without much action. Okay, is there any machine to even test the something before you start expecting people? Yeah, come and maybe make some pledge, bring the listen. Ordinary hand sanitizer. Can you even just distribute hand sanitizer? Can you just dash some maybe face mask At least if that one I got to go a long way before now you start expecting maybe students and other people to come and assist the government. So as a result of that, I believe that the government has not done enough. So maybe they consider that the majority of the people here living in Port Harcourt, they are strangers. Now I go and maybe stay indoors for 2 weeks. You know what it means? Some people live by dogs every day. That dogs, they cannot even see the next day. So there are things you have to, he has created the room for banditry, or a window for banditry, because people now have been going to shops to loot, and wherever they can see this thing. There are things you consider first. They make sure that they sustain their living. So I believe the palliative measure should have come first. You understand? So that at least people will not feel very bad. I feel that if such a step has been taken, maybe they would have respected the law. But if it continues like this, a hungry man is an angry man. By the way, the disease is 1 out of 100 disease that can kill somebody. So it does not mean that coronavirus is all that can kill. Without coronavirus, that is easier. So that's what I want to chip in as my opinion.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much
for calling. You know, right there, he said something very cool and very important. He said the palliative measure should have been put in place, which is actually true.
Right before,
right before all of this, you know, they should have actually put in place things like markets. I think they should have actually thought of how people were going to survive, and a lot of people are actually suffering right now. Good evening to you.
God bless you. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. We are fine.
This is Pastor Embassy.
Oh, you're welcome, Pastor Embassy.
Yeah. I want to correct an impression. Nigeria are very patient people. And we are not stubborn. If we are stubborn, what is happening in the rest parts of the world will be the same thing that will be happening in Nigeria. But we are very, very patient people. I don't know whether you have gone out before on your own time to visit some people outside your work. You will see how people are suffering. Besides the COVID-19 that is happening today, if you go out on a daily basis and you see what is happening to some people who cannot feed once a day. You go out evangelism on a daily basis to see people outside who cannot feed a day. And now the government wants to come. I know what the government is doing is a very good thing to help people. But they should come up with something first to put on ground before putting a people that people should not go out. And people that went out without even hearing the news or hearing anything that happened, now they are in station in one place or the other. And somebody will be coming up to see that Nigerians are stubborn. How are Nigerians stubborn? Apart from the work that you are working today, have you ever gone out before? Apart from this work, to somewhere else to go and see people the way they are suffering. We went to somewhere, we saw a woman without a husband with 3 children, and she's crying in the house. Before now, we went and looked for food to give to that woman. And such woman is in the house today, and there is no way for her to go. She's not working, and today she cannot go out. And somebody is coming to say Nigeria are stubborn. How are they stubborn? You know the difference between hunger and sickness? We are talking about COVID-19 as people
what exactly are you saying right now? Because we're just talking about how people will not listen or obey to the government directives. So how does that relate to everything that you've been saying?
According to what the governor said, they said he made a mistake, maybe what he said about the coffee that he placed. Some people never understood him. And so when people go out, at least those people that call them now, we call them. This is what the governor said. For now, you people should go back home instead of taking them to go and lock them up. Is it proper? God bless you.
All right. Thank you for calling in.
95.1 FM, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Colin.
Your name is?
Collins.
Collins, you're welcome to the show.
Yeah. My own, I want to comment concerning the of whether government application. But what I want to ask, if the governor really mentioned us on dust from or not?
I didn't get that.
Did you not, Collins, did you not listen to the broadcast by the governor?
I listened to it.
Okay, what did you hear?
He said from dusk to dawn.
Okay.
You know, and from dusk to dawn with what everybody and from the dictionary, from maybe from early, like this hour of the day, very that is morning before sunset.
There's no specification of duration from dusk to dawn. Dusk to dawn simply means from night till morning. Dusk means night,
Okay.
and then dawn means morning.
Night to morning, okay. And the riverine, everybody, the citizens who get such information from their government or their governor. The following morning, they went around going out for their own business, and on their way, they discover why police that it's no longer just to dawn, that is 24 hours coffee. So who is to blame for that information or that mistake? Is it the people that came out or the governor that were supposed to take 24 hours, but in that case just to dawn? Now I heard from one of the radio stations that those who are charged to court, but they were because of the now, because of that they will court to not, so they were sent back home. This maybe governor made me, we didn't take to apologize, but because this is an information minister now come back and say they need a 24-hour court. Then what they do, then after people should go back home instead of them holding them to justify their mistake. There is no way to justify your mistake by holding people that come out as a result of your misinformation. Now you want to try them to court. Try them to court. What are you going to? Which offense are you going to put on their head? That you say just to done and they went out in the following morning. Now you want to detain them. You detain them because before starting to court, first of all, they detain them and put them to the other thing. And now they say we are maintaining social distances. In that detention, they tell them, are they maintaining that social distance? Or how are we fighting the coronavirus? So we shouldn't be doing something as if we are fighting so that at the end of the day, all the team of us were fighting of it. So, moreover, concerning the palliative measure and other diseases, if truly they've done that palliative measure and closed down all this matter, I don't think it's Nigeria, a good Nigerian, like those areas in which they place a market there and people don't go out on this particular time. And this market, they regulate it and put people, it's only people that is allowed to enter. After this come back, other people enter. I don't think it's for those people say, okay, no, who agree to that. For a person is not doing anything, and you hold people responsible for you not doing what you're doing. I don't think it's nice.
All right.
That's my own.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good evening to you. Okay, so we lost someone.
Do we have any messages?
Yeah, we have some text messages here,
Right.
and this person said that good evening. Okay. Chai is not up to 1 week and Onga wants to kill somebody. Victor from PH. Sorry, Victor. And this one says, we all say the masses aren't obeying set down rules. Have the government not fallen victim to the same laws? You arrest people for your mistake. You pack them in a bus. Did you apply social distancing? How did the court sit? When the government told us long ago that the court is also on lockdown. Thirdly, the Inspector General gave a message to the police not to arrest except on capital offense. Please educate me. Is this a capital offense? I don't blame the government. Governments apologize when they really need the masses' vote to be in political positions. But our society, the government don't need our vote to assume position, just rigging. Moses Better from Eneka. Okay.
Okay.
And this one says, you guys are not responding well to the governor's mistake on his pronouncement of curfew. How will you support that those arrested should face trials? I think you are the one that got this all mixed up, Constance from Omagwa. Because we actually said...
I don't think you've been really paying attention.
Yes, because we actually said that these people should not actually be arrested in the first instance, talk less of being in the prison and all that. And then the prison should be decongested. So we talked about that. You must have been hearing that wrong. And this one says... Bucci, those people that has been arrested by the police should be released so as not to create more tension in the state. I also heard whoever is in charge of the matter to treat it with caution. You're not Coco, not Bucci. I know your voice. Okay, this is... Okay, the guy is Coco and the girl is Bolu. So, of course, you know our voices. and you know Buchi's voice.
All
so
right.
that's all for the messages. Good evening to you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
My sister, my name is Professor Ekiti. They come from United States of Palo.
Professor Ekiti, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, my brother. According to what we are discussing this night, my only question is that it is the apology that we give those people all the suffering that they have suffered in the sense, and all and even many of them, they have many places that they can achieve plenty things. They have stopped them. What's the apology? What is going to give them? Because to me, that's the way anything that happens in this particular country, it is only the masses that is suffering for it. See our Excellency broadcast, they don't even give them the salary time and all those things come up begin the arrest them. About that, there is something that I want to tell you this night. If they don't do anything for this virus case, that is, you will just believe, you don't even believe that many people now they are ready to even carry themselves, go to the center, say they don't have the virus, so that the government will start treating them. The information that I had this night, because they said they are ready to go to the place, because then when they don't even get the virus, what did they do for their life? To eat is a problem for them. To go anywhere is a problem to them. So the government should please to help the masses, even to provide where they feel see food to eat. Because food to eat is the most important that is killing most people now before the virus comes. So that's just my own area report tonight, because I'm not even happy. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you
so much,
Professor
Professor Ekiti, for calling in.
95.1 FM. Good evening. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening to you.
Yes, my name is Olo Loki and I'm calling you from Banek.
You're welcome, Lucky. Please go ahead.
Yes, I want to talk on the issue of apologize and all that. Now, the Rivers State government should, at least this time now, we are facing hardship, hungry. There is hungry in the land, and things are on increase. Now, I'm begging them, instead of this coffee, imposing this coffee and the hardship on the masses, can they establish, let there be relief material. Let them give people relief material, soap, hand sanitizer, rice, noodles, is something, so that we will not know that. Let Rivers people feel this impact. Let Rivers people see that, yeah, the Rivers State government are there for them. Not only to coffee, stop here, don't sell market, don't buy this, stay at home. And all these things we are in trouble. We are very serious of challenge. You can't even buy something. You can't even see. We have to even buy as little as pure water. So I'm calling on River State government to see what they can do. Apart from River State government, individuals should key in, churches should key in. Let them help the masses. Let them help River State. We are suffering. People are dying. There's nowhere to buy things, and things are on increase. So people should help. Let there be something to show. Not to leave everything at the end of the day. We are shouting and nothing is happening. Tomorrow they will advise, shut down here, don't go here. Please, I'm begging. My name is Olo Lock, please.
All right, Lucky. Thank you for calling in. Okay. Here's a message right here. Somebody said governor needs to apologize to Rivers people for the mix-up of the information. If he is confused as the first caller said, what will Lagos governor do? He is not sensitive. Bayelsa Delta Cross River has started giving palliative measures even when they never recorded any cases. He has no plan than task force. I don't know. Shimile or something. Shimile. Okay, thank you.
All right.
For that.
Thank you for calling in.
95.1 FM. Good evening.
All right, yeah, good evening. I called back again. I don't know if I'm permitted.
And 1 minute. You have 1 minute.
Okay, just 1 minute. I see. Have you ever been in a situation where you have a child who is creepy, and there's a candle that is lighting, and the child is trying to touch the flame of the candle, and you are fighting to stop the child to touch the flame of the candle, and the child is behaving as if you are depriving him of something very important. Have you ever faced a situation like that? See, most of the comments we're making were like telling the government, let us go and die. Because if peradventure eventually the government loses mind and release the multitude so that they can go to the market and buy food and do whatever they want to do, assuming if this coronavirus break out and the government is not there or situation gets out of hand, wouldn't the same people who are complaining of hunger say the government is wicked? So we shouldn't be talking of food and this and that. Because some of the comments we're making, they are not really making sense. And that's why you see, if we push the government too much, the government can also lose control because they are also flesh and blood. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
So amidst all this, there's actually this news from Imo State, and it says the police nab lady for killing lover in Imo. And, it's quite surprising that amidst all this old thing going on, somebody's still killing somebody. The police in Imo State have arrested one Chinelo Joseph for allegedly killing a lover. The police spokesperson in the state, Orlando Ikoku, told our correspondent that the suspect killed our lover, one Okena Ekwibilim, during an altercation. He said, on March 28, 2020, operatives of the Divisional Police Headquarters, Okigwe, acting on a report, arrested one Chinelo Joseph for the murder of one Okena Ekwibilim. And the preliminary investigation revealed that both of them had been in a relationship for some time. And on the day of the incident, Chinelo Joseph visited the deceased. And after spending time with him, she decided to leave. And the deceased refused, and then she objected and insisted on leaving. And as soon as she left, the late Okena ran and blocked her and directed her to go back to his house, which she refused. But then this led to an altercation, and then he began to beat her. Then in retaliation, she picked up a piece of iron and hit him in the chest, and he fell down and died on the spot. Okay, so the corpse has been deposited in a morgue, and the suspect has been arrested, and she confessed to the crime. She will be prosecuted accordingly. Anyways,
All right. Well, it's really mind-boggling to discover that people are still engaging in those kind of activities right now when the whole world is concerned, when the whole world is actually focused on getting rid,
battling the COVID-19.
Exactly.
And then a lot of news has been coming up concerning couples killing each other, especially the women killing their boyfriends. But this one, it shows that she's actually fighting back. Well, it's not right anyways. She's going to face the wrath of the law anyways.
All right, it's 8 p.m. on the dot, and this right here is when we get to wrap it up on Area Talk. We have a whole lot of text messages and WhatsApp messages still coming in. Phone lines are still buzzing, but then whatever has a beginning
surely has an end.
Exactly. So we do apologize. We cannot take more calls and the text messages. This right here is where we get to draw the curtains on the program. Many thanks to each and every one of you who have been part of Area Talk for today's edition, this special April Fool's edition. Once again, my name is Buchi.
And my name is I'm not going to answer to Buchi. My name is Bolo Akife Jegede. Good evening to you all.
All right. Do have a wonderful evening. Up next is the news update. Stay tuned.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered on air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Hello, good evening. Here is the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Success David. In the headlines, the federal government has commenced the disbursement of 20,000 naira conditional cash transfer to vulnerable households at the Kwali Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. This is part of the federal government's effort to help reduce the effect of President Muhammadu Buhari's lockdown order following the spread of COVID-19 pandemic in the country. The number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria has risen to 151. This follows the report of 12 new cases in the country. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control NCDC disclosed the new figures in a tweet in its latest update on the disease. The NJC, while giving the breakdown of the cases, reported 9 in Osun State, 2 in Edo State, and 1 in Ekiti State. The federal government has announced that all markets in states where a lockdown was imposed will be allowed to open between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. daily. The national coordinator of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Aliyu Sani, said this during a briefing by members of the task force, saying that only shops and stores selling food and groceries shall be allowed to open to customers between the hours. Sani said the markets and food stores will be allowed to open between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. and all owners and managers have been warned to screen staff and customers before entry. He said in course of screening, all temperature above 38 should be denied entry and advised to seek immediate medical attention. He further stated that at any point in time, the total number of customers inside each store must not exceed a third of the store's total capacity. The Minister for Health, Dr. Osage Ehanire, has said over 2,000 persons have been tested so far for the COVID-19 disease in the country. The minister made the disclosure during a media briefing by the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 in Abuja, where he noted that the government is making efforts to further expand and improve the diagnostic capacity across the board. He said this week 2 more laboratories were added to the NCDC network of molecular laboratories for COVID-19 at the University College Hospital Ibadan and Federal Teaching Hospital Abakaliki, Ebonyi State. Ehanire said a breakdown of the cases of the virus in Nigeria shows that about 70% of them are male, while about 30% of them are female. And in another news, the joint health sector unions, Johitsu, an assembly of health professionals, has